doesn't matter. But, right.
Sure. So do you like I was here this morning, like keep 6 months on reserve. Do you do that?
Well, he's the guru of multifamily. Yeah. So he's known as the multifamily specialist. Okay. He was actually my mentor. And yeah, I teach him
Right. Sure.
Let's shut off the playback.
Like I heard this here this morning, like keep 6 months on reserve. Do you do that?
Well,
But yes, we are live on YouTube now. Yes, I mean, in theory, you need available funds 6 months early. I don't sit there and watch 6 months as they're sitting in. I keep it moving.
Yeah.
I have a line of credit. I have this. I have that. I have some. In worst case scenario, even before all this COVID strangeness, you could pull from your retirement fund as long as it was back within 60 days. Okay. So there have been times when cash was elsewhere, and I'm like, you know what? I got 60 days. I can pull out my retirement fund. I give you 60 days to liquidate stock or do something else.
Yeah.
To cover my survival.
Okay.
So yes, you want something, but I've never been in a situation where I can say, "Oh, I've got $100,000 in the bank to pay the next 6 months of mortgage."
Right.
I'm not really ready to. I'm not ready to see that much money sit around.
Yeah.
So now, how do you initially get started with multifamily? Because one thing that we found was because we found a multi-family in Stroudsburg, and how much did they want? 290 something. They wanted 290 something, but the reality is we don't have the funds, right? So what were we supposed to do at that rate? It seems like whenever we try to go for that initial multifamily, I feel like we don't have the funding. Like we have private money, but that's all fine and good if you burn it, right? But this house was like basically
Beautiful.
yeah. It was so we didn't know, like I don't know what the right strategy is.
We were actually thinking into one head bathroom, three.
Yeah.
Three.
Families.
The numbers have.
Right. And that's what we did, and the numbers never worked.
Well, then
Because
it's
what
then
was following-
you move on.
Yeah, and we did.
You move on.
And we did. But
I
it
mean-
just seemed like every time we tried to crunch the numbers were never working because we were using hard money or we were using private
Well, it doesn't, I mean, you can go, there's a bank I use out of Florida that'll give you, if you've got some properties, and I don't have the information, but if you've been doing this a while, they'll loan you 75 or 70% at a regular 30-year mortgage. You're not going to get like Reserve Bank. You're not going to get 3.5%, 4%. It'll be 6.5%, but it's something you can live with.
Right.
And there are, I've got a contact out in California, and I love this in theory, but I've never actually pulled the trigger on it. $1 million plus jumbo deals, single portfolio, whatever. Put 4% down, pay 4% on the money, but his person, wherever the money comes from, takes 25% seeded profit. So you're giving up 25%, but $5 million property on 40,000 down.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're giving up one of the shares at the table, but hey, wait a second, I'm still 3 of the 4 shares.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a pretty cool option.
It is a pretty cool
Yeah,
option.
And you all, and of course, you never forget the seller finance.
Right.
Or the plan.
Right.
Like one of the clients that I will finish up later on, portfolio, if they still sell them individually together, or whatever. Well, if somebody's going to buy 30 or 40 units, you bring 80% from the bank, still hold 20% at 7 or 8% interest.
Right.
Not well,
Yeah.
still livable.
Yeah.
Yes.
The big thing is you have to secure that funding plan. I tell everybody, you got to secure that funding plan. You got to talk to lenders, talk to private lenders. Bear yourself up. Here's my situation. Here's my own equity. Here's my house. Here's my this. I've never, my brother house hacked very effectively with some bells up. He was 22, that's what he did, it worked out. Until the wife said, we're gonna do it. The problem with that is, I have no problem with that. My wife and I looked at 6 units years ago, we're gonna start out. And we abandoned pieces of junk, and we came up with a fireplace, hardwood, thing is ugly but beautiful.
Right.
And we're like, we can see ourselves living here. And I said, I can see myself living in 5 or 10. Once they figure out how to be owned, which, how long that, well, not the superintendent, but
Right.
But the biggest thing is, the problem is, you buy it in your own name, you get that 30-year mortgage.
Right.
Slip and fall, $20 million lawsuit,
Right.
you're done.
Yeah.
Right.
Game over.
Yeah. And that's the other good thing about this place in Florida. They actually won't loan it to a person. They only deal.
Do me a favor, stick them up at some point on the resources section of RECN. You know, your contact or whatever.
I'm just trying to, I've used it for 3 months. I should know.
And so.
Landing one is what they're called.
Oh, yeah, I'm familiar with them. In fact, actually, I think we're an affiliate of them. I think we're one of their, whatever.
Yeah.
And
They
then
land all over the state of Pennsylvania.
we have an account, RECN, as well, affiliate thing with Stack Source, which is another one where you dump your stuff out. It's kind of like a bulk. I mean, just in about a week, go to RECN, you'll see them all on the resource.
Okay.
And what Stack Source does is they're kind of a mortgage bundler broker. You give them your information, they send it out to 12 different lenders, and they come back to you with 2 or 3 different options.
Okay.
The other one, they either were First Niagara and now are Key Bank, or the other way around, now Key Bank. They are one of the few that are still doing stated income lines of credit.
Okay.
Cap One also does it. At least they were. With Capital One, we had 7.99% interest, and we were a day late. 30% interest, and you're stuck at 30% interest.
Yeah.
And
that's Capital One.
They care about,
Oh, yeah, no, I
they care about the
forgot.
cash flow on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Key
They
Bank,
care about the value of
we
the
were the
house,
same
right,
day
and
late.
what
when
it's,
I
what it's
went on
turned
that
out.
time.
They care
We
less
were
about,
30.
they don't even have a job. I
I said,
know.
okay, you fix yourself. Thank you.
Okay, which is
And,
nice.
and they, now this was 2014, so I'm
Right.
assuming they have a similar program.
Right.
They literally said, show me a spreadsheet. 10% of whatever the annual gross is on that spreadsheet, keep it alone. I said, so you want backup for that spreadsheet? He's like, no, spreadsheet. He's like, send me a link to Google Sheets. And I'm like, is this 2006?
Yeah.
You know what? I got the 25 or 50 I needed. And you know, if they got their interest for 5 and 7 years, whatever it was, and 5 months. It wasn't great.
Right,
8% for 5, 7 years,
Yeah.
but it solved the problem.
Yeah, right.
So one of the other big issues with trying to get into a multifamily initially is if we buy it under our own name, then yeah, we can, qualify for this, that, and the other thing. But if we don't, and you know what, the red flags come up, of course. So now if we want to buy it under our business, then it's like, well, now you need 6-month reserve. They want to see 6-month reserve. And it's like, all right.
Yeah, it can get, I'm just watching this, Jeff, the guy is going to talk about one of the income strategies. I'm just going to watch one that might effectively be credit.
Can't you borrow the money? So does that bank actually hold the money?
Well,
Are they gonna hold the money, or can I borrow the money from a private lender? I borrow money from my mom and dad at 10%.
right.
I show them I have 6%. 6 months. And I pay them off.
Well,
Right.
Yeah, because they're only gonna look during the 30 days of the month.
Are
They do want to see,
But they
they do want to see reserves in the bank.
Yes, but I think
Absolutely.
it's probably gotta be seasoned a little bit. I don't think.
Exactly.
But
They
it's not
do,
huge.
they do
30,
more
60,
than mine.
90.
No.
They just wanted to see, they wanted a current bank statement.
Yeah.
To see,
And that's,
to see what I had in the bank.
Yeah.
And so some of it makes sense, if we were able to get it last minute to hold for a month to
Right.
show,
Right.
then maybe if it's, you can get it to
You can go to,
borrow for a little bit longer to pay your.
like, PayPal loan builder, they'll loan you 20 grand in a blink of a hat. Yeah, they can pay them back weekly, so you pay them back, you pay them interest. They charge you the whole nut up front. So your first loan with me you get for like 4 or 5%. You borrow 20 grand, you park at the bank, you let them draw off a couple of times, you get the loan, and then you give them their money back.
And you know, and you do, I mean, and that's also where the retirement funding is.
Yeah.
Right.
It's far from you, but watch that day. You go 61 days, the IRS is going to shut down. So you 50 days, you're putting that money back. You don't want any kind of stuff going on there. You want to be sure. Basically, I mean, getting that first thing. That's also one of the reasons investing up here as opposed to Strauss. Up here, you can get a double for even now, even crazy prices, $78,000 fully rented.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean you want to get one right
Yeah, yeah.
Or you can have a beautiful 2-bedroom in downtown Manico for $15,000. It just needs a roof and wiring, plumbing,
Everything else.
And, I mean, that's one of the reasons you go to market like this, is it's a little more, hey, John.
How's it
Well,
going?
that's like, what was the area that you were looking at? What?
Oh, Glen Lyon.
Glen Lyon.
Say what?
That's, oh,
That's the suburbs.
Manico.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
It's cows, deer, people don't eat.
right,
Yeah.
right.
No,
yeah.
we learned that real quick.
Yeah, we were like, oh, no.
Just north of my lane, Manico, like that, you're fine.
Yeah.
Maybe even Wannabe, that's kind of the halfway point.
Okay.
You know, Manico, north, you're good, then pick up around.
The rest of Newport Township, rural part of Nantucket, like Alden,
Yeah.
that's all fine. Glen Lyon, you know, it's.
Yeah, we just did a little research and we were like,
This table here.
area.
Yeah. And just so you guys know, I'm not asking anybody to do anything, so our deal with the restaurant is hopefully as a group.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah, actually, I didn't have dinner, so
Okay.
the menu will be really great.
Oh, yeah.
Menu? Yeah, totally. Yeah, sure.
I'm not like begging for anything.
You got
but,
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you did, okay.
Oh,
Good.
oh, okay.
If you guys want something else, or,
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm a month away from being up.
I know, we came here a week ago.
We're gonna get in front of you.
You know what my wife came home with this afternoon? Frickin' the pie that I like, love from right here.
That's what she
brought.
I had 3 slices
They
before I
ate,
came
I
here.
didn't eat, you know.
I got,
Huh? No, she didn't freeze it for me, she ate it in front. It doesn't, but I'm the point where it doesn't pop.
and we're excited our little puppets there. So we're gonna do a tablet for back month.
I haven't had a carb or gram of sugar since,
Wow.
first couple, like, I walked around in a fog for about 3 or 4 days, but once I snapped out of that, I'm just hungry. And then I only eat, I have a 6-hour eating. I only eat between 9 in the morning and 3 in the afternoon.
Is there a specific medical thing, or?
Well, it's keto and it's called intermittent fasting, which is supposed to be terrific for your blood sugar. And I'm type 2 diabetic, so
So you're
the
trying to
intermittent
control
diet.
your body.
Yeah, the intermittent. What I'm going to try to do at the end of this is just stop taking my diabetic medication and see what my blood level is.
You may be.
That'd be interesting, yeah.
Yeah, my friend, so then you're never allowed to eat carbs.
Well, no, I'll come back. I'll just eat them. And
Thank you.
believe me, that pizza's coming back.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, no, he can't eat any pastries.
Oh, no, sorry. There we go. Yeah, we have cauliflower crust too, if you like that.
No, it's not me.
I don't know.
He wants extra cheese.
Okay. All right, I'll be back there.
My wife made that a couple times. It's actually.
It is actually.
No,
pretty
it's
good.
very good. My sister made it for us. It was really good.
No,
No, it's not really good. There's no
There's no
substitute.
such.
So my daughter's like, we'll deal with it.
I've been making stuff with almond flour.
Yes, I do
The
that.
cake was all right. The only thing where you really don't notice it is like I break chicken with fried chicken, and then when we fry it, you can't tell that it's something.
Once you get the oil on there, you're fine.
Yeah,
And the fats, you can have as much fat as you want.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter.
Steak lard.
Yeah.
Well, that's why you got fried.
What's that with?
Oh, all right.
Might want to shrink this a bit.
Hey,
Oh,
Jeff,
Jeff.
we're connecting you in.
He's about to call it.
Yeah.
Oh, don't do that.
Just froze. How did I get started? I know, I'm not seeing them. Chris, how are you?
So as soon as Jeff comes on, so the sort of topic behind tonight is alternative income strategies for landlords. Jeff's going to take over for a little bit. He's our business partner on the energy conglomerate RECN. You can make money out of tenants, electric, gas, phone, cell, blah, 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 blah. And the game with that is not just your tenants, but you get other landlords. And you can do that. So you with us, Jeff?
Yes, Mr. Steve Franco, how you doing?
All right. Let me get this out of the way and I'll
Awesome. I'm excited.
switch host to you, which actually I can't get it out of the way.
This is
Thanks so much for joining us, man. So
awesome. So welcome everybody. Thank
your
you.
host now.
This is the first event
Hold on
that
one
we're
second.
having.
Can we try to turn this up?
Yeah, we're just trying audio. Keep talking for a second.
Oh, no problem. Let me tell me if you can hear me. Can you hear me well? Is it good, the audio?
At 100?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that
No, we're not yet. We're trying. Maybe under settings here.
Hang on a second, buddy.
no problem?
Go to microphone. And then
Select a speaker. Is it Phillips? Yes, Phillips. All right, Jeff, keep talking.
Can you hear me? I check testing. Can you hear me well?
yeah,
Yeah.
you're too loud. Wow, you look good.
We got to come to the big screen now.
It sounds good?
Yeah,
Yeah.
perfect.
Perfect. All right, perfect. So thank you guys. This is the first event that we're having where it's like a live event and a virtual event that I'm done. So thanks, Steve. Oh, Mike is there. How you doing, Mike? How's
How are you?
everything? Good. I'm excited. Well, I'm excited. So what we do is we're gonna go over real quick because I know you guys have an event there, so it won't take more than 15 minutes. So just so you know, my name is Jeffrey Cohn. My background, I'm actually involved in real estate. I've been involved in real estate since 1996. And I've been involved as a real estate agent, real estate broker, attorney, and also been involved in investing in different. Is that Jason Hurley over there? I could kind of tell you in the background. Mr. Hurley, how you doing? How's everything? I'm so used to seeing people in Zoom. Now I feel guilty being in the Zoom now. I should be over there. But oh, there you go. Nice seeing you guys. So just so you know, this business we saw 7 years ago. So a bank attorney we were working with literally showed us how we can actually take essential services and make money off of them. So I'm gonna share my slide real quick so you can kind of get a visual for it. So give me 1 second. So basically, this could be applied for anybody, but for the real estate space is pretty straightforward. So what happens is that in this slide, it is showing you, like, let's say as a landlord first, right? So, and it could be it could be commercial or residential services, but this kind of shows you like a typical residential type portfolio, whether it's 10 units, 100 units, 1,000 units, it's the same conversation. So in every space, either you pay the bills, let's say you have common areas, or the tenant pays the bills. So either format. There's energy bills that got to get paid. So let's say if I'm talking Wilkes-Barre specific, let's say you can get paid on they have contract with UGI, with PP&L, but this is a conversation that's happening around the country. So basically you see where it says apartment units, 100 apartment units. And I just kind of give you an idea. The same apartment owner that, let's say, owns all those apartments can actually have the tenants register their bills through this service, and they still gonna have PP&L or UGI, but now they get additional $4,000 a month in residual income based on a $100 average bill. And I know in Pennsylvania it's cold, so I know that $100 is probably a good month, you know. So there'll be months that is higher, but it's just to kind of give you a conservative example. But it is other services as well. They have contracts with like Frontier, even Dish, DirecTV. So I'm gonna cover that. But I'm just giving you the bottom line is that now a landlord can take their portfolio, let's say, and you see where it says before, it says a 10 cap, and it's 300,000, let's say an annual income, now that can be increased to additional 40,000 plus. So that increased the cap rate. And all it is, but because they didn't do anything different, nothing different. All it is was like taking the bills and getting paid on it. So that kind of gives you an idea. So I'm going to just real quick run through how the services work and kind of give you a little bit more clarity. But we do have people in the Wilkes-Barre market that taking advantage of it currently, and they're having a lot of success with it. So it's been expanding, but also around the country as well. So the company itself is called ACN. They've been around for 28 years now, since 1993. They started as a phone provider originally. When there was like the regulation of phone services was the first service that they got involved in, but they grew to a whole menu of services. So they're the largest direct seller of essential services. So these are the services that they work with in the United States. So they work in the wireless space. They work with companies like Verizon, Sprint, AT&T. They're also in the internet space. They work with companies like Spectrum, Frontier, AT&T. They also do the bundle services as well. They do cable, satellite, and they do streaming as well. And the energy is a huge one. That's light and gas, that's electricity and gas. And that's through 100 gas electric markets. So that includes PP&L, MedEd, UGI, PICO, but they're in so many states. So if you go through the East Coast from Maine down to Georgia, all the way to in the Midwest, all the way down to Indiana, Illinois, and also California and Texas. Plus, they're in other countries as well, like Canada and UK and a whole bunch of countries. But the conversation is that these are bills that have to get paid if you're in real estate, no matter what. And then alarm service, they work with a company called Vivint, and these are both commercial and residential. They do credit card processing for business and ID theft protection insurance. So the basic conversation is when I saw this was that this is what I thought, that, hey, I didn't know you can get paid on bills. That's my first thought. But then second part is like, if you really think about it, these bills always have to get paid no matter what. And there's no end date, meaning that there's not an end to the contract where you stop paying, you pay forever. And they're recession-proof services, right? That's why I got started. Today, I get paid on many thousands of utility customers, and it just continuously grows over time. So it continues and continues. And then the part that to me was insane was in 2020, in March, everything stopped, right? So I have a construction company with contracts with Bank of America. That was one of my recession-proof businesses. I couldn't pull permits in the city of Newark, so we couldn't even make money with that business. But with essential services, they still paid residual. So it didn't have any effect on me financially when they closed everything down. So I just say that because that's a stress test. A lot of times the stress test comes and the utility has to get paid. So since then, we still always got paid for 7 years, but it never had any effect on anything. So it's a recession-proof evergreen service that has to get paid for lifetime. So the way ACN structured the model is they made an initial decision to not compete with these major companies. What they did, they connected with these companies. They set up contracts with them to bring customers to these companies directly. So then the way it works is ACN doesn't provide the service, it's the major companies. And then the way it works is that ACN gets paid for bringing customers to these companies. They don't do it through traditional advertising. That's where they save the money. So we bring customers to the table because it's a referral-based business. So we bring customers to the table, we get a cut of the bills, and it's a long-term, meaning we get paid for the life of the customers. So for us, it's a big benefit. And then the customers get to save money. So it's a positive for them. So you see where it says your services can be free. It's just showing you that they have different promotions and different programs. So they have referral programs. So customers can actually refer customers and get free cell phone service. You get free energy supply, in some markets, even free internet. But then they also have savings and loyalty promotions for energy, TV and internet bundles, wireless, alarm service, and credit card processing for business. So the bottom line for the customers, they don't pay money to be a customer. They get to save money, and they still use the same companies that they were using before, but now they get a little bit of savings. But we get to get paid. So this is the first screen and that shows about the money, and I'll be very specific about it. And I'll talk in normal, but then I talk a little bit in the real estate space just because it's a real estate meeting. But basically what happens is any service that you register, you get paid upfront money. That's the customer acquisition bonus, is one time. But then when the bills are being paid, you get a residual income off the bill for the life of the customer. So the basic conversation is, and I always start with, let's say if you think like five households, right? So what happens is five. So now this is interesting. Now we have someone in the Zoom and we have someone in the meetup. So it's interesting. So but basically you have 5 services. So when the services get registered, they pay you $200 upfront, right? And services is not people is actually like bills. So take a TV bill, electric bill, internet bill, a cell phone bill, and let's say an alarm service bill, just to give an example. That's 5 services. An average household usually has 5 to 7 services on average, but they pay you $200 for putting those bills in this computer, but now for the life of the customers. So now in the real estate space, I kind of say it more pointedly, like we have, let's say our house bills, right? We tend to have common area bills like light, like, you know, like the light for the lobby, things like that. And then you'll have tenants, right? So every time that they register the bills, they'll pay you an upfront money. And then what we do is a lot of times we put in the leases. So it means in the leases, when they sign up, you know, that they have to, you know, like, let's say they need permission anyways for Dish or DirecTV, but now it's very specific. So we always get paid on the bills on the leases that we have. And some people do it that way. There's different enrollment ways to do it. But basically now the tenant signs up the service. They could do it when they're moving in, or they can do it like in the middle of the lease. It doesn't matter. But usually in moving in is the simplest way to talk about it. Because now every time that you're leasing up an apartment, you get upfront money, but then now you get a long-term residual on the bill. And the last thing I'll mention here is that when tenants move, let's say someone stays in your place for a year, and let's say they move within the same area, let's say they're in PPL market, technically you still get paid for when they move, like meaning like, let's say they go from your place to another place in a PPL market, you still will get paid on that PPL bill. So as long as they keep their Zoom Energy service, which has a loyalty program attached, you'll get also residual income. So that means that you actually start getting paid on tenants that you don't even have anymore, because they're paying PPL or they're paying Dish TV or they're paying Frontier, whatever they're paying, you get a residual income. So it actually increases over time. So everything happens on the website. So it's web-based, so it's very simple. And I'll go back to the live website just to kind of give you a little bit of an idea. But what literally happens is when customers sign up the service, now when the customers go in and let's say they have a PPL bill, they go on the website, sign up the electric bill, right? Now every single month they're gonna still pay PPL. The accounts are serviced by PPL, but you get a residual income. So every single month now the bill is being paid, you get a piece. So like a royalty payment. So you can add up as many bills as you want, and it's long-term money. So it means that now when the bills are locked in, you're just getting paid on bills, and you're not responsible for the service part of it. They don't go to ACN to pay the bill every month. They still keep paying PPL or UGI how they normally pay it, but now we get a stream of revenue. So that's kind of how it works for all the services, whether it's alarm service, internet, TV, but just kind of gives you like an idea. Everything is web-based. So think of like Expedia, Priceline, Amazon, eBay, Airbnb. It's going to be something on that level, except it's utility-based. So then now this is the fun part. So now we may have a lot of properties. We may not have a lot of properties. We may have no properties. It doesn't matter, right? You can still get paid on the services that you have, right? And you can always get customers that want to save money. Great. But this is where it gets even more powerful, is that now you may know other people that have a lot of utility bills, right? So when they see the business, right, whether they're broker, property managers, owners, sellers, when they see the business and then they may want to get started with it, now you can get a 4% override on whatever bills that they register long-term for the life of the customer. And when those people share with other people, you also get paid on a network of customers, right? So just my quick stories. And when I saw this, I never been involved in this type of business before. I've been in real estate since I was 19, and that's been kind of like the path that I followed up to 2013 is when I saw the business. So it was something different. But they asked me this question. They said, you have utility bills? I said, yes. Do you pay the bills? I said, of course. Do you get paid on the bills? I said, no. And then they asked the final question. They said, would you like to get paid on the bills? I said, of course. So I signed up. So then now, once I signed up my bill, I started getting paid on my bills. But then they asked me these other questions. They said, who do you know that has utility bills and may want to make money with it? I said, oh, I know some people. So I shared it with some people. Some people liked it. They got started. They put in their bills. And now today we get paid on many thousands of customers residual. So that means that some of the customers were from the people that I introduced to the business, but most of the customers are from that network of people that I never heard of before. Maybe I know them now, but I didn't know them then. And then some people I never heard of and don't know, will never know, but I still get paid because it's a network. You get paid on a whole bunch of customers. And this is where you can kind of flip the script a little bit differently, is that a lot of times what happens is in the real estate space, we're talking to different people. We might be talking to property owners, trying to get them to sell something to them or buy something to us. But this is a conversation that's not transactional. So whether you're doing a transaction or not, a lot of times what happens is you're able to offer this as a conversation piece So then some people are gonna want to get started with it. So when they do that, now you're sharing with them, and technically now you can even make money outside of your zip code. So what's happened to me was that's how I ended up buying properties in Pennsylvania, upstate New York, was because I didn't know those markets, but I met people through the business that introduced me to certain markets that made sense. So we started getting involved. But then over time, now we're getting paid on different cities and states that some might have no business doing real estate in because it's too pricey, or I don't want to go there, but we get paid on the bills. And we create relationships around the country and actually in different countries as well, where they have the same services. So over time, this becomes a game changer, because now you get a residual income every third Saturday on utility bills. But then the next conversation is you get paid upfront money. So they actually pay you upfront money to build a distribution. So over time, there's these weekly incomes that start paying you. So for me, again, I never been involved in this business, but it made sense to get paid on the bills. So what I did was I registered my bills to get paid. I shared it with some people. Some people saw it. Some people liked it. They got started and they paid me money per each person that we started referring. And then week to week, the business grew. And over time, like about 90 days into it, we were earning $6,000 a month. And then later on, we became regional director. It took us about 10 months for that to happen. They increased the amount of money they pay you weekly. So it becomes a nice little stream of revenue that's alongside of the other things I do in real estate, but it's powerful income. It's, you know, like you basically, it creates financial freedom. And then they have higher positions. We're right at almost at the RVP position where the money gets really crazy. So that's kind of how it's been in a nutshell. So the last couple of slides I kind of just walk you through is kind of how it looks like. So we're going back to the property owner, property manager slide. And all of this shows you where it says if tenants sign up for 2 services, this is average bill $50, right? So even it was lowered a little bit, just so even look at it even like a more conservative example. And you see where it says 100 units is $2,000 a month. 10 units is $100 a month, but it's all extra money, right? But where the conversation really shifts is now imagine, property managers, owners, people in real estate, brokers, and anybody that's in the real estate space, developers, they all have to, at the end, they have to deal with the bills one way or the other, but they don't get paid. Usually they don't know about this, so they're not getting paid residual. So then now you share this with them. And now let's say the example of 1,000 units, 3 services. So take electric, gas, and one other service. That's going to create $30,000 a month residual, but for you, $6,000 a month, because now you've shared it with a few people. And in the real estate space is a category killer. And we're like in the early stages of the conversation. So most people haven't adapted this in their program. If you go to Australia, they've adapted it. So I mean, so I was talking to someone that had 21,000 units. That some they own, some are property managed, and literally, they already been on this one. They're like, you guys don't get paid on the bills? I said, yeah, I do, but it's a new thing over in the United States. He said that he thought US was crazy. So you guys don't get paid on the bills. We get paid on everything. They even have a concierge desk in their office. So there's no because it's a broker's office as well. So there's no sale that can happen that's not going to connect services. So they already have it set up in Australia already. But in here, it's still like it's still a new conversation. People don't know much about it or heard about it, but don't know about it. So it's a perfect timing. And remember, real estate right now is in a real upswing, but that usually that when what goes up comes down. So in the last recession in 2008, there was no ability to get paid on essential services. So it means that it was in a conversation. So imagine now put 2008 in 2022 or 2021 or 2023, whatever year you want to pick it. And now you get paid on bills. How many people will be more interested in income streams when there's a recession? A lot more. So it's going to be a boom in this business. So the way it works, if you want to make money, is you buy a license. It costs $199, $25 monthly support fee. ACN takes care of all the details, so you don't become a technology expert. You're not a guru or anything. All you're doing is taking the bills, registering the website that they gave you, and then what happens is now when the bills are registered, you get paid long term on the bills. So all you need to do is acquire customers. ACN does the rest because they take care of everything, and the license is willable, transferable, and sellable. So it makes it a very simple conversation. So that's pretty much what we had. So I don't know if anyone has any questions. I lost the picture, but
Yep. You get it back.
Oh,
Yeah, and we're having upload problems, so I try to balance it out. But
okay.
yeah, and just so you know, yep. And just so you know, guys, Mike and I, RECN, we joined ACN with Jeff, and it's already started to work. Even though I'll only the ones I've signed up myself, just been nice enough to throw a few people under me or under us. And we're about to launch, hopefully in the next 6 months, a couple tie-ins with some major brokerage firms. And it's one of those things where you sit back and you're like, huh, this sounds like it's not gonna work. And then you're like, oh, okay, someone appeared under me. So now, you know, whether or not the checks started flowing or not, I could, okay, I now start to see the plan. And I talked to 2 or 3 managers today, actually, and they're like, oh, send me that, that's interesting. And the play that Jeff taught us is, yes, you want to sell your tenants, great. What I'm not going to do, what kept me away from this for years, is I'm not going to knock on people's door and say, knock, knock, I like your electric bill.
Right.
Not going to happen. And just like Dana, you play it smart. You go to the property manager. Would you like a piece of your tenant's electric bill? And all of a sudden, you get 100 units because he has 100 units.
Yeah.
You just put them under you.
And you play that game. And
Correct.
Jeff, you know, when you get to that point, you can explain how you stack them and how you put them where they belong.
Yeah, correct.
But the point is that.
Hey, Jeff, real quick. Jeff,
Yes.
it's Mike. So if I wanted to sign up my tenants,
Yeah.
so I get a new tenant, do they actually call UGI or they go to the website and sign up? Because I want to make them.
In some states, they can go on the website, but not in Pennsylvania yet. They're in some states that they're doing that now too, that you can actually enroll the tenants brand new on the website. So they just get their account number. So I'm gonna show you real quick how the websites look like. So it's simple. So they get their account number, and some of us set up the system so we help them get the account number, so they don't really have to do a lot. So it's just like, oh, they just sign the forms, they put the account, and all of a sudden the bills get registered. So this is my website that I have. It's under my company name, our Success Global, and then I services. You see where it says electricity, and I start there because that's a simple one, because everyone has to have that. And now put shop plans, and I'm gonna ask you for a zip code once it shows up. So what's the zip code that I should use?
218704.
Yeah, right at the top there, top of your list, 28704.
Say it again. Say it slow.
It's the top one on your list, 18704, right below the box.
Oh, okay, I see. So now you see it shows you the company. So in that zip code, there's like actually three companies running electricity. Either Penn Power, West Penn Power, PP&L, or UGI. So which one should I use, UGI or PP&L?
UGI is fine.
So UGI. So
Either one, whatever one you want to do.
and it just shows you. I'm just showing you how it looks like. So what happens when the customers sign up the services? They get to lock in the rates, right? They have different plans for the customers, right? I tend to do a fixed rate if they're going to be in a 1-year lease, and so they don't. There's no that rate.
Yeah, so
I missed that. I didn't hear you.
No. But so they actually have to sign up with
UGI
UGI
Yeah.
first, and then I got to sign up.
Yeah, and they take the account information and then just type it in. And then a lot of times we help. We have like that's what they do concierge, is that in the concierge, and we'll help you with do that. Especially you have a lot of units, we'll show you how to do that. It's simple. It's basically like you just do the onboarding for them. A lot of times is you can help them sign up the service. You send the form in done, and then or in some cases they'll call. It just depends on how it's structured. But a lot of times what happens, the rate is the fixed rate is already cheaper than what the market rate is. So it makes it very simple for the customer. They're gonna save money, and they also have a program called Zoom Rewards. So I'll show you this real quick. So when customers pay the bill, they actually get credit for points towards gift cards. So the customers love this because it's like they're paying the bill. Because sometimes with a rate is a little bit like it's a little bit type to they don't understand it too well. But the gift cards is an easy one. Hey, I get something every month. So it makes it simple.
And Jeff, can you send me that concierge stuff? Because I got about 50 tenants I'm delivering to tomorrow.
I'll email it to you. Yeah. And different, like the larger owners you kind of like structure it for themselves. So I'll send you the basic form that we use, and then really it's a rinse and repeat business. So, huh?
Yeah, the form, the flyer, whatever. Because I know I'm not gonna meet most of them, I'm just gonna drop the thing off and tell them to call me or whatever.
Yeah, I'll forward it to you. So
Yeah.
it's simple. It's simple. And once the tenants sign in, they get the gift cards. They pay PP&L every month or UGI or whatever company they have, and we get a stream of income out of it. And then over time is used because now it's not just the properties that you own. It's almost you're sharing on other portfolios. Like we had some group that had like thousands of units in different states, like that's signing on board. And I didn't know the person. It was introduced from one person to another person, and now they saw the value in that, and now we get a 4% cut of whatever the bills they put in. So it'll happen repetitively because this is a it's like there's no reason not to do it. It's like once you understand it, it's like the bills will have to get paid forever. Why not get paid on it? And then you'll see that is a model that fits perfectly within the real estate space.
Awesome.
All right, perfect.
So I
So
have a question.
sure.
So they're just gonna be, once they sign up, so they sign up for PP&L, then they start, they register with ACN.
Correct.
Okay, so once they do that, they're still just getting a monthly bill from PP&L and they're just paying PP&L?
Correct. It's
So it's changing, it's not changing how
Correct.
much they pay or,
correct.
okay, the cost of.
What's gonna happen on the bill is gonna say, you're gonna see like the bill's gonna look exactly the same, but it's gonna say Zoom Energy supplier instead of whatever it said before. Because if you look at the bill, it has a distribution and a supply. So if you look at the bill, it has like you would unless you I had between you and me, I never heard about this before because I just paid the bill. So you just pay the bill, and then once I was in the business, and then I see like depending on the area, it'll say, but usually say distribution and supply is the way I say it, but some places say something different. They'll say commodity, like depending on the company. But the supply portion is the one in deregulated states that you can choose a different company. So there's like maybe like 20 companies that you can choose from. I don't know, like they get licenses to supply that market. So in Pennsylvania, there's companies out there that they might knock on your door, they might send you flyers, but you get like even if you chose it and you save some money.
A long time ago, like years ago, and through a different supplier.
Yeah.
So unbeknownst to me, they were getting a cutback on what I was paying.
And so,
Correct.
so you're with this, you're in the same spot. And what happened to us is we did one of those, 3 cents per kilowatt, whatever company.
Right.
And it was a 12-month plan. Month 13, it became 40 cents per kilowatt.
Exactly.
With this, when you sign up, I think that we send them an email the month before.
Zoom Energy does the customer support. So that's the other part about it. So technically, like you can if you want to, but I don't. I just let Zoom, like it's like, remember we deal with AT&T, Verizon, all these major companies. So they know how to handle the business. So what happens to the customer, they see the bill, right? Like normal, they pay it every month. They get a reward program. So they get points or gift cards. We just get a payment every month. And then they get the Zoom Energy is like in communication with them. They'll send them like the mail. You know how like I still get UGI to this day, always sending me emails. So they'll get Zoom Energy will tell them, hey, your rate is expiring, lock it now. But that has nothing to do with us. We just, we pay we get paid. Like literally it's a royalty income. But for them, like most customers, like I have properties in Pennsylvania, New York, and New Jersey, right? So they're a little all different, but it's the same conversation. It's like they pay the bill, we get a stream of income. That's it. And then and since they get the reward cards, it's actually a lot of times a net benefit because they usually, if you pay the bill and get nothing, that's what you're getting. But now you get like $25 here, $50 here. So it's better than zero. So when they move, right, they keep the customer. So we still getting residual. That's not even my tenant anymore. It's literally not. And that's why we show this to, we love to go to property managers because they're doing the hard work. They're doing the hard lifting because you own the property, but if you have a property manager, you're really doing not that much. The property manager is doing the work. So they're doing all that work and getting no residual. And if they get fired from managing the property, they did all that work for nothing, and they got paid at that time. But instead of doing that, we show them, hey, look, why don't you register, especially if the owners are out of market and they don't care. There's some owners that just want to be left alone. Well, they can help them register the tenants, right? if the owner doesn't want to get paid, that's why we always share, hey, look, we want to get paid on the bills. The owner says, nah, don't worry about it. So the customer is a value add, but then for them, now they're getting residual off all these tenants every month. And it's like PPNL, UGI, then, you know, Frontiers, all these companies that are major companies. So it makes it like, is a very hands-off residual that now has legs, because now you can actually create these relationships with the property managers long-term. And that's a lot of units. Yeah, correct.
Right, so Zoom is the one that's dealing with the customer, right?
Correct, yeah.
Once the customer signs up, it's no longer your issue. You're out.
Okay.
Correct.
From the landlord side, it would be interesting to know, is it conspicuous whenever somebody is missing payments or discontinues, or their services discontinue? Because it would be really nice to know if the gas was turned off in one of the apartments whenever there's about to be a big freeze.
Can you tell if someone's behind on their payments to the utility?
Not really. All they do is show you, like, I mean, unless you like know specifically the account, like you get a customer list, right? But like it just tells you what was paid, so you don't really know if they're behind or not. Like it just, like I have in my customer list, I have, like, let's say a lot of deli owners. So the only thing that I figured out is that when they catch up on the payment, the residual gets higher. Because sometimes I don't know what's going on. I have no idea. I just noticed that we had a group of guys from Brooklyn that own like little like grocery stores, and they pay high billing, but some months is lower, it's like $400, and then some months is like $7,000. And I'm like, and you know, like you're saying, why is it $7,000? Oh, because they were behind in the payment, and they catch up, so they don't pay you when they're behind on the payment. They pay you $400, so that's what they paid. But unless you're looking at your accounts that way, you just take the check, you just get residual. So you're not really. I don't spend too much time on looking at the billing, because eventually, like, it's like too many bills to look at. So you just like get paid.
Know if they're no longer a customer.
It'll tell you.
Yes, they got.
It'll tell you if they're behind. You can't really. The way it works is if a customer is active, right? It'll just tell you that it's active, and it'll show you how much billing is being generated from that account, right? For your personal customers, and your like they call it the downline. The downline, it just tells you this is how many energy customers you have. 700 energy customers. There are 13,000 or 50,000, whatever that billing volume is. So you can't really see your downline customers, who they are, but you can see your personal customers. So if you have personally acquired the customer, you can see, hey, Joe Blow is inactive. It'll tell you. So someone's like, or they ended their account. It'll tell you. So if you monitor it, like, just like what happens is, like, it's so many bills at some point. It's like one of those things where it's like a penny jar. You know, like how many pennies in your penny jar? I don't know. Like they just pay you every residual, and it's a bunch of, you know, accounts and so that in the beginning is when you like it's exciting, because you start seeing, oh wow, I got at some point 7 years in, it's like I just get paid. I don't know. I just get paid. Like that's the best example I could explain, but it'll tell you on the report. Like there's a report that actually tells you specifically for any personal customer that you have.
And Jeff, one thing I'm picking up there is, if you have the time to look at the customer, he's got too many customers. If you only have 10 customers, if you see $100, $100, $100, $100, $20,
yeah.
Well, then if it drops that quick, you're like, hey, there's a problem. Whatever.
I was thinking more along the lines of, yeah, they discontinued service. It's really good to know in October that somebody just discontinued their gas services.
Well, I think you'll know that because they're no longer a customer. They discontinued service, right?
If you have 120 houses that have pipes that freeze.
So how long does it take for them to show up if they're not active?
Like because they don't shut off that service that quickly though. So that means that it'll show active as long as they have the service. So let's say they're missing payments, right? They might still have an active service. It'll just show in that specific account, it might show they pay zero or they pay a low amount. So you might get a hunch. Let's say if you have a gas account that's been active, but it hasn't been billing anything, there's a good chance that that's a customer that's behind. But they don't, like, unless you knew, they don't tell you that it's late. It just says that it tells you the billing amount. It tells you if it's an active billing account. Inactive means that they shut off the service, or it's final bill, meaning that they moved. Those are the three iterations that you normally see. So if it's active, that they have account, they're billing, they're still sending the energy to that address. That's all you know. But you can get a hunch if you know your properties, like, you know, it's supposed to be $400, it's like $30, so it's a problem. But technically you get, it's like 3 months in arrears. So by the time that you know about it, you would know about it in real life first. Like, it's very, that's why I say it's more like a passive income tool than to like, it's not really an active management for the utility tool. It's more like you get paid on the bill. That's it. Like if you look at it like that, then it's simple, because remember, it's not your problem too. Unless your name is not in the account, it's not your problem. Like, it's literally like they get the service shut off, is their responsibility.
Yeah, he worried about pipes.
And if they aren't paying their heat bill for 3 months and it's turned off and then February happens, it's my problem.
See, Jeff, he's using it more for,
I was
monitoring
wondering
his property.
Yeah.
It's probably one more piece of information. It might not be the piece, but it's one more piece of information.
Yeah, because it's meant to be like a way to create a stream of income out of the bill. So that's, if you look at it from like a royalty income, like a music publishing, like that. So when you get paid, it's like literally you're just getting paid on. They take all of it away from you. Meaning, like, UGI deals with the customer, Zoom Energy deals with UGI. So that means that the customer doesn't really, they can call Zoom, but they shouldn't, it's going to be like 1 out of 1,000 customers will ever call Zoom. So really what's going to happen is that UGI is still going to be the servicer of the customer, the service that they're going to get the bill from UGI, and ACN gets paid from Zoom. And so when you get your residual, it's like you're really getting a passive income stream. It's like, you know, there's based on the bills and they give you the billing volume, but you're not responsible. You're like so removed from it that you're not responsible. Like, all you said, the bill got entered and now you got paid. And that's all they do. They owe you the money. Like, it's like the power outage is not the problem. Like, it's like, I'm not saying it's not that you rooting for power outages. It's like, literally, like, it's not your charge. So you can, if a whole market is like blacked out and you're watching TV, they don't call you. And those people still have to pay the bill. So, you know, if you get a blackout, they still say, hey, they don't say, hey, we sorry for not having service for 2 weeks. No, they still send the bill. So you still get a residual income, because people end up having to pay the bill anyways, even if they didn't get the service. So it's kind of like a cosmic joke. It's like you're getting paid no matter what.
And for me, or for us, the brand name isn't either one of us.
Right.
So the tenants see REI, whatever I have it as, dot whatever, so they don't know it's us.
Yeah.
So
correct.
it's not like they even can blame you, because it's ABC LLC at ACN.com or whatever it is. And so they know you required they buy electricity through this, but they don't know that it's you they're buying electricity from.
Yeah.
They just know that you've designated this selection.
And Zoom is highly rated, so they're the largest. They have the largest footprint for energy in America, and they have a A+ Better Business Bureau rating. So they're like known in that industry, and they've gotten a lot of awards. So it's not like a fly-by-night company that's doing the supply. It's like a well-known company. So in that industry, meaning that, like, I don't think there's a well-known energy company, but if in that industry is well-known. So it makes it simple. So it's a good brand, but the bottom line for the customers, they just pay I honestly, I was, until I signed into ACN, I just pay the bill. That's it. I never had a positive relationship with a utility company. I wasn't like, oh yeah, I love them. Cause they're still, the customer service is spotty at best. You do construction, some of these companies are horrible. Like they show up with like late. That still doesn't change. That service stays the same the way it is. So we're not improving PP&L quality or UGI. That's Con Edison. They all stay the same. We're just making money off of that bill. That's really, if you look at it from that standpoint, that's the big picture.
Jeff, real quick, as a wholesaler, flipper, so I turn on the electric, gas for a month.
Yeah.
Is it worth it?
You get a bonus for that. You get, even if
That's what I'm saying. So what kind of bonus?
If you put in for every 5 bills, they send you 200. For every 3 bills, it's $75. So let's say if you put,
I just put it on for a month.
You get,
right? I just put it up.
As long as it was an active account. So that's the key. If it's an active account, they'll spit out a bonus check. That's it. So they
What
because they understand.
meaning I just turned on.
It's turned on. Like it's like that you have an account number and it's like that is a turned on bill. Like it's like you don't have to turn on the light. I mean that it's like that the meter actually is working. It doesn't have to even spin as long as it's like within as long as the PP&L picks it up as a real account, right? And then you put the bill in, and let's say the next month the tenant comes in and they move in. They pay you the bonus for that. Now if you sign up the tenant, they pay you the bonus on the tenant too. But then the tenant's gonna pick up the bill.
Let's say. Yeah, well, I don't know if I'm gonna get that tenant because I'm gonna flip that house.
Okay, so then
Right.
you just get the extra money. Then you get the what they call the cab bonus. Like you get the upfront for putting in the customer. Extra money is like extra money, and then that's it. And then when the service is shut off, you sign it up. I would just sign up for a variable rate. So basically, there's no contract to it, so you can cancel anytime. So literally, you put in the bill, then literally what happens is they pay you the cab. They call it the cab bonus for putting in the customer, right? And then that's it. And then when you cut off the service, then it just says final bill. So that means that you didn't really, that's not a great residual income thing, but you get extra money. So if you're actually, this is a tool that I love to use for people that do property management and the ones that do service vacant properties. Like there's some people that do that but they have to turn on the light. So when they turn on the light, they actually, they don't get paid a lot of residual for those accounts, but every apartment they're getting paid something. Versus, remember, there was no money to be made. Like there was zero, like turning a vacant apartment usually pays $0. But now you can get paid, okay, $200 here, $75 here. Like it's extra money. Yeah, correct. It's extra money. It's extra money. It's again, it's the win is here that you're able to take something that's a negative cash flow and turn it into a positive cash flow.
And I just had it happen today. I was talking to one of my friends about it. Hey, listen, do you want to put your electric bill in? Because they're bitching about their bill. And all of a sudden, well, why are you doing this? And I told him, like, so how do I become? So I didn't try to pitch her on bills. I didn't try to pitch her on becoming a customer or even becoming whatever. She's whining about her bill. I'm like, well, have you heard about this? And then she's like, wait, $200 and 25. All of a sudden, I don't know when she's going to do it. She's going to find the money right now. It's not a good time. But all of a sudden, she's like, all right, well, then I'm not only do the bill, I'm going to do this other thing.
Yeah.
Who the hell knows if she goes anywhere with it? You get one more person, and they've got a little bonus for that. So I'm going to get a check if she signs up for like whatever it is, $5 or whatever their bonus is for her signing up as a business person.
So now, does she have to somehow link to you?
No. Basically, everyone here, if you want to sign up, you'll go to our website or our RECN, and that puts you on our thing. And then when you send people, when you become a business owner under here, you'll have your own link, and you'll send them. So she'll go to my link. People she signs up will go to her link, and so on and so on and so on. So you'll sign up with my link. People you sign up will sign up with your link. I'm still getting a couple pennies off your people. Just getting a couple pennies off your people.
Right.
That kind of thing.
Right.
But so everyone gets their own website for that reason, and that's what worked for me, because I didn't even tell her I was it. I didn't want the friendship game to get played. Right. I was like, hey, you know what? I went here and I saved blah blah blah. Oh, check it out.
Right.
That way, there's maybe certain situations you want to play on the personal, but in this situation I didn't. I'm like, hey, this worked for me. Here you go. Oh.
And so now you were talking about that you have a website. Do you have to have a website through this?
That's part of what you get as a business owner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
ACN sets everything up for you, so you don't have. That's what makes it like a plug and play business. You don't have to be an expert on anything. All you do is literally you get the website, which ACN sets up for you. Once you enroll, it is immediate. And then once you have that website, there's a link that's accorded to they basically link to your bank account, essentially. Like when a customer goes on the website, you're gonna get credit for every bill that's put into that website. And then when the residual comes in or whatever bonuses, they actually they pay you to your bank account. So it makes it where it's like a new funnel, an income funnel. And literally what happens is we're not like the customer is not going on that website, so they don't really need to know that part of it so much. It's like they only go on the website and sign up the bill one time. That's it. They don't pay the bill on that website. They pay it to PP&L or whatever. So it makes it like for the customer like a seamless experience. And for us, a residual passive income generating tool. And then that's it. And it's just like, it's in the rinse and repeat, because since we're all in this business anyways, we're always gonna have people that are around us that are doing deals, buying properties, renovating, doing something with real estate. And there's always that electric bill and gas bill that has to get paid, plus the other services like alarm and internet. Like you can kind of get a little bit more into the other services, but the conversation is really then now you get paid on all these bills every month, and you're always getting a stream of income.
And like I showed these guys, they're buying about hopefully 1.5 million in property, like 40 something units.
Oh yeah.
And they already own like 200 or 300.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, da da da. And so what about you? Is common area electric? What do I do with that? Like, it seemed like a light bulb for them.
Right.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I got this guy coming on later. So they're actually going to watch the replay because they're driving home to New York right now. But they're going to watch the replay because they're like, wait a second.
Yeah.
And they're in. They have to be, Israeli Jewish. They're in with a bunch of other bigger investors.
Oh yeah.
So he's like, wait, if I signs up underneath me and so on and so, yeah. And I said, it spreads out.
Sure.
And these, this 32-year-old kid's buying $1.5 million in property, so I can imagine what uncles.
Yeah.
Right.
You know.
That's how it works.
And and that's what I said. So you make, let's say you make a nickel off every one of your tenants every month. You know, you got 500 tenants.
Right.
You know, it adds up to something. You know.
Besides gift cards.
Pizzas.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a question.
Besides the gift cards for the customers, does it actually go with their current rate?
Yes.
Get them to sign up.
It does, yeah. Or it can. We don't know what their rate is now.
It depends on,
You know, it can.
this is the best way to explain it. So I'll just go back to the website. It tells you the rate. So generally speaking, it locks in the rate. In PP&L market is usually cheaper. I won't say every month, is usually cheaper than the current rate. So usually 8 to 12 months out of the year, if you lock into the rate here, it's cheaper than what they're gonna offer at PP&L. So it'll tell you when it's definitely cheaper. But in most cases, the fixed rate, what it's done is that when there's spikes, you don't absorb the spike. So like if you have your bill normal, so let's say to PP&L or whatever company, they'll have ups and downs. So in the ups, that's when you lose. But here you don't get that. It's almost like the gas station. Like imagine the gas pump. They tell you, oh, $2.65. I don't know whether I haven't gone out that much. So hopefully the gas prices are not that much. I don't know where the prices are. But let's say they give you 12 months, $2.65 a gallon for the rest of the year. You might take it because you're like, you know what? It can go to $3. It can go to $2, but most likely it's gonna go up. I'd rather be safe. Let me just pay the same rate every month. So the same thing here. So now, and here it just tells you enroll today on SureLock 4 or 12, and you're gonna be locked in lower than your current utility. And you can barely see it, but here it'll tell you, it says rate is based on February residential utility rate of 7.32 cents, and the rate here is 7.29 cents. Is negligible, but is locked in cheaper. So that means that, and then you get the gift card. So it makes it better for a customer. We just get a residual. That's the difference. It's like we whatever the rates are, we get paid. So that's the benefit for us.
And right. I mean, yeah. I mean, you think about it. I'm going to pay a fraction of a penny more, but I'm going to get $100 gift card. And most tenants, most of us probably don't look at, am I really on the lowest provider?
Right.
When I switched in, Jeff can tell you how reluctant I was to some of this stuff. I have, I don't know, a dozen electric and gas accounts. But when I went line by line and I compared every damn account, I won big going to ACN on my PP&Ls. I lost a little bit on my UGI. So I said, you know what? I'm going to move my PPLs over. I'm going to wait till the UGI flips. And then I'm going to lock that one in. So if you want to be precise, that's great. Had my wife not been my accountant department, I probably would have signed them all. I'm like, well, screw it. An extra half penny per kilowatt. Who gives a crap?
Yeah.
I'm going to get this big. But I knew if she saw that spike, that all hell break loose. But PP&L, it was a no-brainer. UGI was like, and Mikey, he's all UGI at his house. He's like, not quite.
Do they have Med Ed?
What?
Med Ed?
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty much,
Yeah.
if it's service in your area, they have. Yeah. That's what the zip code thing is. You plug in the zip code and it says, here are the companies we work with.
Okay.
And realistically, none of your tenants probably are going to look at the bill. They're not going to. they're gonna say, oh, well, in my lease it says, I mean, Jeff, you're the one that does it. My lease, it says I gotta sign up with this company. Okay, I'll sign up with this company.
Yeah, that's the other
You know,
part of it.
cool.
Because the reason why I'm comfortable is because we know we're not harming the tenant. They're actually gonna save money. But technically, it's like hey, you know, I have one building where the HVAC has to be served by a specific company, just because you don't want to have like a different people touching the HVAC and messing it up. So I don't know they're the cheapest. I just know that they don't want the thing to get messed up. So if you're gonna service the account, it has to service the HVAC. It has to be this company, or if there's any damage, you're gonna pay like a big penalty. So basically, they have to use that company. So it's not even a conversation. So that's kind of the same conversation. That it's your property, you do what you want, you know. So you know, I'd rather get the regular more rent, you know. And some people do discounts, like they play it with it differently.
And then 25 a month.
25. And really, think about it, 25 a month, that's a web hosting charge, really. Because they give it, it's a pretty, not to say Jeff up, I'll show you the website after. It's a pretty impressive website. It's got all the stuff to sign up your services, all the stuff to sign up as a business. So, you know, of course, it's a cloning thing for them. It's an automatic cloning. But the point is, it's done for 25 bucks a month. I'm getting a web host. But, and you never have to worry. Those of us who run websites know you're always worried your website's down. It's not down. ACN's running the website. They're not going to let 400 million or whoever number of people around the world are doing this. The website's not going to go down. Or if they do, if it does go down, it's their problem, not yours.
Right.
Yeah.
The trick with all of these is their problem, not yours.
Yeah, that's it.
Your bad blame is don't blame me.
So Steve, I have a 8:35 meeting on this on my other code.
Yeah, last minute.
We have his contact information,
Yeah.
right?
Yep. Thanks so much, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
It's just throw it.
Thank you.
All right, cool, man. Just toss the host back, okay?
All right, perfect. Thank you. Let me do that.
Thank you. We'll hold off on that for a second. Yeah, so basically, you know, this one of the several things we wanted to cover tonight. This is sort of the one. He's got, I don't know, 9,000 or something accounts or something absurd, and he does twice a week Zoom meetings for his investment network. The last one I was on, there were 800 people across the country coming to his little thing. So
It's pretty neat, because they put you like meeting.
So
we did
realistically,
One of those.
yes, we do. Yeah.
So you're in the early stages of actually using that?
Yep.
Yeah. Are you making, off of what you have signed up, your own personal stuff, a couple of your accounts, are you making enough right now to cover the $25 a month?
the $200, which I'll be straight up, it has not arrived because there was, okay, Jeff told me this and I told him to shove it. He's like, no, you sign up personally and then you switch to your company name. Otherwise, the world's going to end this deal. I said, no, I'm signing up with my company first. And I've now learned he's right. You sign up individually,
Okay.
get your account up and running, because there's like an authorization period.
Okay.
And what it comes down to is when they authorize you as an individual and they push your company, they don't reauthorize the company. When they go to authorize a company, they want more people. So, yeah, so basically you sign up, he's absolutely right. You sign up individually, wait a month. And
So I would go to RCN,
your
your site, sign up me,
So that we can get under, okay.
sign up a couple of my, like commercial building across the street.
You guys all have Jeff.
Right.
Right? Jeff.
Right.
Jeff
Right.
will answer any way that goes under us. He
Right.
will do what he did here.
Jeff is,
Yeah.
what he's leaving to do at 8:30 is a national leadership conference. He's a trainer in national leadership.
I spilled it on the pizza.
All right, oh, it's all right.
You just need all the pieces.
Oh, that's what I do, the backup piece.
You don't have to worry about watching it down there.
That's right. Put in the blender for you, you're all set.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, so basically, yeah, Mike and I know like this much about,
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Oh, we're just signing.
We just posted it back to Jeff.
Right,
At some point, we'll be there.
right. Oh, yeah,
But
but
you can
you
do
know,
it
anytime.
Our main thing
Right.
is, our main thing is real estate. It was just saying, hey, going.
But see, but everybody who's doing real estate is doing a little something else too to bring in that extra income.
At the end of the day, I'm a realtor, I'm a wholesaler, I'm whatever. Guess what? March, the governor said that I'm not allowed to go alone to a vacant house. My industry stopped from March to May, actually February, whatever.
Right.
Out. And that's what I'm like, I need to find a way to keep money coming. This is like, if I build this now, the next whatever.
Right,
And that's what all of these tricks are. Is what's the next whatever. And this one's easy because, and I didn't like the control guy, and Jeff and I had some fights about
No,
this.
listen, they had fights. I was like, okay, that was my.
How quickly did you get it? Well, I realize you went through the business, but if I were to go home tomorrow morning
Yeah.
to sign up, could it be working in a day?
Oh, it's working within 10 minutes. And what was weird with me was mine was working within 10 minutes. And Jeff was putting people under me, and then the company suspended me because they had some snafus with my paperwork. I wasn't getting the stuff up. And I signed back in, and there was 2 people when I got suspended. Jeff had 2 or 3 or 5 people under me when I came undone. So even while I was suspended, you could still get people under me.
Because his line can only go so far down, also to everyone's, right?
Yeah, it can
I
go.
was about to ask, how many tiers down does
He
it go
can make
on?
more money by flipping on the.
Eventually, it can go unlimited. At Jeff's level, he will collect unlimited. Like one of the, the national brokerage firms that we're gonna be working with on the other day, I'll show you. When we get enough people, we'll be able to collect all of the levels of 44,000 members of the brokerage. Signing in. So if you get enough, it's amazing. It's personal customers, it's this, it's that, whatever. That's what Jeff.
Because I've got a lady who's an investor. She owns, she's only 90 or 120 doors in Brooklyn. She's coming this weekend, probably buying my property up there for almost $1 million.
Oh, no.
So she wants
I'll broker that
and
for
she
you.
wants to move. So
we gotta have.
I
some
just want to,
parents
I want to have, I can have this conversation, but
Well, and one of the reasons I'm recording this to YouTube is I'm gonna cut out the Jeff portion and give everybody a link and be like, if you need to explain AC, yes, you should get them live with me. And like I've got my Indian client with a couple hundred units on the screen, he'll never sit for this.
Right,
I can send him the link to Brett and say, Roger, just watch this video at some point. Because he's not gonna want to interact with anyone, be questioned by anyone. Just watch this video. This is what he's gonna say to you, and you don't have to worry about him like, oh, Roger, tell me. So you can send her that link and be like, hey, this. Here, so you'll sign up under our account, she'll sign up with your account.
Right.
And then they say it's 4% of the bill, and it is, I'm not saying I'm no lying,
it's 4% of the
of the generation.
generation cost, not the distribution
Right.
and maintenance and all of
And
that.
now the other thing I questioned, Jeff, is, okay, so 7 layers, that's 4%, that's a big piece. Do I really believe PPL is giving you 50% of the bills to make that make sense? And I immediately, after he explained to me and he showed me how it is true, I stepped back and I was like, I don't care. I don't care if it's 4% or 0.4%. It's more than I had.
We're getting
an hour
4% of
before.
something,
Right.
which is better than
Yeah,
0%.
I don't care if it's a nickel, if it's a dollar. Point is, pennies from heaven.
so how long have you been doing it?
I signed up in December. I just got my account figured out. Because also, I've got so many things going on. I didn't notice for a month I was suspended.
Okay,
Because with everything going on, I wasn't even paying attention to it. And so I'm expecting my bonus stuff that came in when I signed up in December. It'll probably come in end of this month.
Did you put your personal residence on?
What I did is I looked at which ones. So I put in all of my accounts that were PPL. I had 5 accounts that happened to be my sober houses. They're it. My house and everything else was UGI, and it was a penny less to stay with UGI. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna wait until those accounts go. But all of my sober houses have internet, and most of them don't have cable TV, they just have internet. So I said, okay, great, I'm gonna move over to the internet. Frontier has $85 per house setup. So I said, well, that's gonna back me off. And somebody said, well, at a certain point, Frontier zeroes that out from them. So when Frontier zeroes out the installation fee, I'm gonna sign up for Frontier. And all of a sudden, my internet bill will be getting paid on ACN. Couple of my mother's property up in Boston, she's got home security. So same thing, it's like when her home security contract comes up, move it over. Well, now, most people aren't gonna bother. Again, I wouldn't have bothered if my wife wasn't just one looking at all the bills.
Sure.
I would have been like, I can get $50 every time I sign up. My wife hates the idea of MLM. She doesn't even know I'm doing.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's like, I can't be like, well, honey, we got this. Not gonna do it.
yeah. People hear MLM and they do,
Like,
yeah.
Well, and because years ago, I signed
Amway,
up with
is it Amway or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, same with my wife too, and we just don't say nothing, but
Yeah,
when it's
yeah.
making money,
Yeah,
it's okay,
it's all
you
good.
know,
Yeah,
it's not a big deal at that
right,
point, you know?
right.
Yeah. So I mean, this really, and I can now see the vision. When I talked to these guys today, that was the first time I really pitched an investor on it. Not really pitching it, but they were looking at house.
Right.
And the way they were like, well, we're gonna be driving back to the meeting, it was like, no problem, we record. No, send me the link.
Cause you don't wanna,
Me personally, I hate people like that, push the vision and everything else on. You know, I don't want to be that guy, I'm not
Right,
that guy.
right.
This weekend.
Thank you.
We're focusing on the investment. Hey, look, you know, me and my partner, you know, we put this on our properties, we get money back, and now we just hooking up a really big company where we're gonna have a lot of people work for us. Here's some numbers, we'll make some money.
I think my current tenants,
4%?
I'll run it by, for anyone
For
new,
this
it's gonna be,
It's gonna be like, so for electric, whatever, 4% of their residents. But things like home security, identity theft, and some of their other services, like, and
that's what I'm gonna.
and they have this separate from that, there's points. I signed up my sober house, which are in my company name. And I said, oh, those are commercial accounts, so residential accounts, 1 point for electric, commercial accounts, 2 points, home security, like 8 points, whatever, that has to do with their pay.
Okay.
And I had notified the ACN, and then what, 5, 6 accounts, and all.
Yeah.
And I did initially, and then I got dropped down to 60, where are my points going? I said, well, KP&L determines those are residential accounts, they're apartments. So it's not what the name is on the bill, it's the meter is a residential meter.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Good to
You
know.
know, I don't like it, but I understand.
Right.
Well, you know, whereas I'm signing up with my friend's gas station. Or finding room.
So it doesn't matter whether it's residential or commercial?
Well, you get more points for commercial.
Oh, good.
You get, but, well, like I say, with my sober houses, my company name is on there, oh, that's a commercial account. TP&L says, oh, no, that's a residential house.
And do they do water as well or not?
They don't do water in this state, they do in some
Well,
places.
that's where you should,
The compensation has
Stop water,
300 points.
What?
The compensation
No,
rate
I
caps out.
like personal bills,
Yeah.
I pay the bills and just prorate the customers across. So I'm just gonna move them over. For the water, there's nothing to gain.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, again, have we been in long enough to see, oh gee, we're making X? No. But we haven't been long enough to see that it makes sense.
Right.
No, my UGI bill this month, when it's cold, it's gonna be $700.
And we're covering.
The long-term thing to wonder about is, like, you actually have a network of people with 8,000 bills underneath you. And 6,000 of them are TP&L. What does it take to actually negotiate it? And what is the actual raw that you can get at a company? It's not ACN and it's REI and LLC that's doing it. So like ultimately, when you get to a certain scale, you're able to wonder those types of things.
Well, and
Because they are putting work into it. They're doing an entire back end along with everything else.
And they've been doing it since 1993. They were the first or second company licensed. So I was like, okay, because I originally looked at it. Similar program, utilities only, none of the other crap. First of all, none of the other crap. So like, wait, why am I bothered? And second of all, End of straight, they're like 1998. It's the end of the first. All right, well, they've been around nearly 30 years at this point. Well, that's going away. Whereas, I mean, at a certain scale, you could always do that. Now, there's also a whole game when you get into big commercials, like a place like this.
That's what I was about to ask you. Do you know any people that work with large apartment complexes have negotiated directly with PP&L for that?
I don't know anyone, but I know Jeff is taking commercial accounts and done negotiations under ACN. So those negotiating accounts do happen. I'd have to double go to him like how. But there is that game that you play on the commercial side of whatever. So I mean, it really opens up a lot of opportunities.
Well, I'm gonna, like I said, he pitched that back at the group that they spun off of at the pizza place in Pittston.
Yeah.
And when I looked at it, the numbers didn't make sense to me, but I'm gonna look again tomorrow. See if it.
And we can send anyone the link, Steve will send the link.
Yeah, I'll send like, and here's what, and that's why anybody who hasn't made a lot, just send our book over there. We'll be doing tablet check on. But the other thing to look at is, and I forget where it is, but after the first 5 or after the first 10 points, they send you a $200 gift card. Well, that $200 gift card pays for almost a year of your service.
Or it pays for your sign-up.
Or whatever. So it's like, yeah, basically what I was doing, what I thought were 6 commercial accounts. I was getting enough in gift cards. Yeah. I was getting enough in gift cards to pay for everything, which I'm probably still getting nearly enough in gift cards. You know what? Over the course of the year, I made $50. So whatever. Also, one of the reasons we did it initially was so how many people Jeff had on his meetup. Okay, what will it take you to get your group on RECN? Is like joining ACN. Okay, that's a pretty cheap marketing plan. But all we're doing tonight with this is about other ways. This is one other great way to make residual money. Okay, so you want to play with the other one?
No, I probably should see.
Yeah. Now we will be putting out. Let me just walk through real quick the other ones. Separating the water bills and other utility bills and stuff. That's here. We can supply you with the meters. We can supply it with a gap or whatever.
Get some installed. It's about $150 to get the meter installed. And that's if you don't have, if you're paying more for your tenants.
Right.
I paid more for my tenants. The first thing I did was I cut that out. I was telling them early. I put some water meters in, and now I bill them. I don't have to pay $15,000 to the water company to actually come and what they wanted to put in 3 new meters. So I put some water meters in, and I just bill everyone. Everyone takes a picture, and then
So you still pay the master bill back?
Yes, the master bill comes to my company, we own, so they charge me, and originally it was about $4,000 a year this property. I put some water meters in, and what do you know? Now they're paying, and they're actually taking a picture, and they're watching, It's probably about $3,000. But I get the write-off for the water company because I actually paid it. That's what I'm building, and I paid. So, so now I went from making $19,500 on that property to about $22,000 without raising the rent.
Yep.
Where do you put the meter?
So
Right after the water company meter, you make a little trade.
Yeah, so wherever it goes, like I see this water meter goes here, bam. So now it's not hitting apartment 1 and 2, it's going this one.
Did you install or is that something installed?
I have installed.
Okay.
So the water meter and everything, I have it installed here, it's about $150.
Come springtime, I'll need 4.
It's great. But it works.
No, because my building over here, I have a tenant who does a commercial washing of textiles, and he pays the entire water bill. So he's leaving. All right. My lease says, I prorate everything based on square footage.
Yeah.
But the lease that they signed says your water bill's 0. Well, now my guy who's paying the water bill is gone. So I'll eat it until October when there's no leases, and I'll say, now you're going to be
And also take mine, if may not be true in the commercial space or residential space, you can't do what you were doing. Your tenant cannot pay the utility bill for anybody else. called the foreign service. It's called the foreign service. You can get trouble on the residential. So you don't want to, so that's why there's two areas for it.
Whatever, should I be, taking?
Well, they wouldn't like it because if I had to, the rent would be, I'd make sure that the rent's covered. Covered the gas and electric.
Is it really legal what, I'm telling them I paid the water bill, but they're really.
That's okay, because you are allowed to go back. And again, I'm just saying, for the residential
Might
crowd,
have to go back.
That's good for you to keep it back here.
the other, real quick, the other way to make money is, you have more than 3 units, stick a pair point out longitude. Done. You've got,
I think you have to, I would think more, right?
well, I mean, with 3 or 4 units, you'll make $100 a month, $200 a month.
I was telling them, I rent the machine. We watched the drive, the last people, they asked me to do it, my wife said, oh, rent it. $35.
And a smaller one, you give them a $300 washer dryer, you say, hey, you know what, $30 a month, that's a break.
Okay, you need a rent center. You want a TV? I'll get you.
Well, listen, I told Steve, I rented 2 43 TVs.
Yeah.
I just sit in my basement with my kids, and they said, oh, they're not fast enough for my PlayStation. I said, oh, I need a TV on hurry. I said, well, I got 2, give me $20 a month. She's like, oh, I need for a month. 6 months later, right? There was no paying for the thing. They just gave me the TV back. Oh, I don't need TVs anymore. But yeah, like, that's all stuff you rent out. Like, I rent out my attics. I show them, look how big this attic is. Wow. But that's not part, I don't want anyone using it. I just,
I like showing it off.
yeah, I keep it locked. I want you to know that there's nothing up here, right? Oh, wow. $50 a month, I'll leave it unlocked.
Attics, garages,
You know,
basements,
I was
outside
talking
the basement, you put little 10 by 10 storage areas.
So there's an extra $50 right there. I get $35 for a washer and dryer. I never even bought. And then I bought another one from this other guy, but it was $150 for a crappy washer and dryer. It's still around a year later. So it's already paid for. 2 times over. Right? And then late fees.
Late fees, exactly.
I know he charges more. Yeah. I charge less because they'll keep paying late fee. You know what I mean? At this price.
I want the rent on time. I do 10% of the rent.
Yeah.
See, I give them 7 days. On the 8th day, if your rent's $1,300, it's now $1,430.
Yeah. See, I just like this 50, and then they're gonna be late all the time. So now I went.
It basically raises their own rent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got an extra $50 because if I do the 100, they're not gonna. Or the 10%.
And then
10%.
And then I charge for pets. If you want a dog or a cat.
I do 25 for cat, 35 for dog, and you count up to 3, and that's all you get.
I'll let you have 2.
Do you put any front-up fees, like a $250, not returnable?
No, and I probably
Because
should.
my friend does, told me he charges $250 up front.
Well, because I told him, how can you charge me more? I said, because I'm assuming that when you leave here, I'm gonna have to replace carpet and flooring. That's what I tell him.
Yep. And the problem with the upfront, at least in my experience, is like, oh, so I get that back when I leave?
Well, no, that's a fee. I'm charging a fee. You're not saying it's a deposit because they want that back.
Yeah.
And one of my favorites is they come, it's been a rough month. If you work something on the security deposit, and I used to be like, look, every time I did that was true, I got screwed. Now I'm like, you know what? No problem. Half security deposit, your rent goes up $50. Oh, until I pay it back? No, your rent's up $50. So let's face it, you're not getting the money any other way. You're not having to give that $350 back instead of that $700 you pay half. It's gone. But you just raised the $50. You just raised that unit $600 a month. At a 10 cap, you just raised the value of your building $6,000. But it's helping them out. Now they gotta be stellar in every other way. You don't want to do that.
Right.
But I would think that's pretty rare that they're stellar in every other way, except $350 is what's.
Oh, I probably say 2/3 of my tenants have taken advantage of it.
Even people that I rent to up here, who you would think are semi well off. I mean, to say, okay, it's $1,500, you need $3,000 to move in, but they don't have it.
I had an attorney come and I told me, I said, oh, you still gotta do the credit report. I used to. I just pay his bills.
Yeah.
What the hell do I want you for? Now you're an attorney. I'm not living there. I don't want- No. But it's crazy, because, you know, why is it turning on a rent?
Yeah.
There it is, he paid his bills.
Yep.
It's not a criminal, but. now
You
he
got
knows the
foreclosed
law.
on 6 times.
You know, he wouldn't pay the rent this whole time. He'd be that guy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Everybody else pays.
And, you know, everything, you know, all the rent-a-center crap, oh, you need a couch? Okay, fine. I'll go buy you a $400 couch or whatever, and I'll charge you for it. You get them that way. Other one that I love,
Yeah, it's a good match.
I just feel offline. I almost feel like I'd rather strangle them because they want to go to rent-a-center than take advantage of them myself. Like, don't do
I mean, I
this.
look at a friend center.
Go on Craigslist.
Yeah.
Buy one for $150.
oh, no. Those people, I had a friend who was a complete trailer trash, whatever. Her little kid, this is back before it was real estate, we had basically nothing either. He came over with a 10-year-old TV. How come you guys talking? Well, it's painful. My mom just goes to rent-a-center. Well, that's why your mom told me.
Sorry, but listen, I see.
When my brother got out of high school, everyone, you know, they go to get their first job, they're driving, you know, nice big truck, guy driving trucks. He had this old beat up Jeep Renegade, right? And it's got a personalized license plate, PD space FOR. Yeah. How much is your truck? How much is your truck saving, Chris? Nothing. Look at my license plate.
And I think the last thing I want to throw out, and maybe I'm forgetting one, is this is coming out in front of month is our contractor booking service. You'll be able to, you can make money off this. There is a money making scheme on this as well. We can probably high, but it basically boils down. Mike and I didn't want to have a phone next hour at 2 in the morning all the time. We didn't want to wake up 2 in the morning, have those 2 phone numbers that we have, either one forgets. And then we had to get our asses up on Christmas Eve and go do something. So we set up a service for, give it to your tenants, you escrow some money, and you say, I approve these services to be done by first body colors, frozen water, frozen pipe, broken toilet, broken sink. All those have numbers next to it. You already agreed to that. Contractor gets in his car, maybe this overnight service fees or whatever, could be 24/7 coverage. He gets in his car knowing the money's sitting in it. He's not going to get screwed. You get the video and pictures uploaded to you for you to approve. You have 24 hours after the job to approve. I like it, no, I don't, I have problems. So you know the money's not going anywhere until you approve it.
So you're protected and the contractors.
Right.
If the contractors say, oh, I never get paid.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, please do a half-ass job.
Right.
And so that's what comes in, it goes out to the 40 contractors that we've vetted.
It's almost like a DoorDash type of thing. So if the contractors.
What about bigger jobs, like a tenant move out and you
We
need
do that
three
too.
rooms painted?
We can have.
We can even do RFPs and RFQs. We can do requests for proposals and whatever.
We have a big thing, but it's not.
It's coming online now. Probably come online so. And basically, that's actually what the brokerage firm is. They want to do their RFPs. But basically, and where you get paid on that is there is a marketing budget, like the guy that brought us the brokerage account. He's doing 5%. Now, in actuality, 5%. So it's a $100 job. We made $10. 5% is not a lot. But if you bring on Berkshire Hathaway, 50,000 agents,
Right.
all of a sudden your 5% is holy crap.
This
Yeah.
guy's bringing us 40
Something thousand agents, yeah.
agents.
So he's going to get 5% of whatever jobs those 40,000 agents send us. And at the end of the day, you don't take, so we did this whole thing with the brokerage firm, we told them, listen, the normal REO agent does this stack of work, so they get their 3% commission. They'll get reimbursed 90 days after closing for all the things that they prepaid for doing, the repainting, the rekeying, the. And we're doing all that work. And we're sending them a $10 check at the end. They don't give a crap about $10. They give a crap about not doing all this work.
We just freed their time. So
Exactly.
they can do more
We
real
free
estate.
you up from having to deal with the contract. You can say, oh, I want to take calls a day, I want to pass them on. Whatever. We free you up from dealing with that.
Keep real quick, it's not.
Yeah.
So much work to do. But before we go, this is Chris back here, he's a wholesaler. And he's new to the game. I'm sorry, I don't know you.
John.
You're John, I'm Mike. What are you doing? Renting, flipping?
Looking to buy it.
Are you looking to buy? See, this is the perfect guy back here. He finds wholesale deals for all the time. Yeah, I mean, if you guys just want to meet, want to talk to each other, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, tell me what you're looking for too. I look for rentals or.
Right. So you know,
Okay.
you get your sign of, here.
Yeah, I'm sorry, this meeting, you know, Jeff took a little bit more time than we wanted.
Yeah.
Are we gonna have time restriction?
We're here tonight at o'clock.
What's that?
We're here tonight. And I think, you know, I don't want to do it.
It says on it, but I don't know.
Because I would have.
If nobody's out front, they don't have.
I think as restaurants get busier, they might be open later.
So I don't mind, I mean, let's take 5-10 minutes and talk to each other, you know what I mean, about, you know.
Hang out in the parking lot.
Whether we're out there in the area, only
Yeah.
and that's the property, that's all Mike and I do. I do wholesale a little bit, as well. So if you need any questions about that, you know, any questions about the
Like what areas to stay away from?
I don't like my.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean.
yeah.
I see
Yeah. The other day, he has like 3 properties, and I'm like, well, I'll check them out. And, you know,
You get started in buying rentals.
Okay.
Yeah, so, yeah, yeah. I gave.
Please, I already can.
I already did it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we're signed up already.
Text me again.
And I'm
Okay.
trying to drag him, drag his ass in and,
Okay. All right, see you.
his retirement plan is he doesn't have one, so.
And we're gonna start, actually, this is the first meeting.
Okay,
We
good.
work on
They're new also, Chris, and he's a wholesaler.
Right.
He's doing fine properties.
Cross it over.
We're
We
the
did
hardest-
today.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Yeah, so he's found a couple of good ones.
Yeah.
You know, I looked at them, I didn't buy, but they were. Good, the last one that I was doing, like that.
Right, where you're starting.
That went fast.
I'll be able to-
Do you have anything now or?
Hard money.
In the works with one guy just now.
Yeah.
Yeah, wait till you sign before you tell anybody.
I was gonna ask you, but I want to ask you private about that one.
We're still looking.
The law firm seems
We want to get
sketchy.
sketchy.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Okay.
family.
You know,
So,
yeah,
yeah, I know.
we're dealing with a law firm now.
What Martin said, right, this is the wrong time to buy something.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
you can, up here, you can still burn. I'm not
Yeah.
still, up here,
Just.
everything I'm dealing with.
Right.
So each side is the whole-
Right.
That's right.
You know,
Nice to meet you.
Right.
I give you my business card.
No, the house that was, the house that was the cluster fucking in, it was just double that they were trying to do.
Right.
You wanted to look,
Yeah,
look
there you
at
go.
that, I told him, I said, you might just get that way to get over finance, but then they put it on the MLS, and they had like 4 options.
I also just started a new company with a partner. We're gonna be doing investment, flipping, buying homes. We wanna do some wholesale. Yeah, so I understand that you do, you know,
When I heard about it, my way into real estate.
2014, 2024, right now.
He knows. But the main thing is that he like those.
Yeah, because you're planning on, yeah.
You know,
you're
you're
in a-
in a bedroom, 20 baths, you want to think more.
Definitely.
Right. You know, the next thing.
I'm where you are.
Now momentarily the stock market-
I'm a real estate agent. So is Leo.
I don't think I can see that.
That's right.
Yeah, because I don't.
Because if we piss somebody off, I mean, they can go to Atlantic City for
See,
they can turn the water on.
where you are, where you are, right? As far as, real estate, well, except I have an agent, that's the only difference. And I make money that way. Right, yeah. See, I want to do the same
I've taken
thing.
a picture of his shower, it's disgusting.
That
I
you
won't
want-
update it because he don't want to move out, and I'm not updating it, I updated everybody else. I went out home and everybody.
We haven't even made it hard yet.
Say like that, okay.
That's, what we want to do the same thing. Same thing, do everything. Right. Well, actually, when you become a real estate agent, you are working. You're working for yourself, even though you're working under the company. Yeah. But you actually you did a 1099 deal. You're working for yourself. Yes. That's just your umbrella for the company. Yes. That's just your umbrella of the company that's over that you're under. They're just giving you space to run your business, basically. I'll tell you about this company here that I work with, EXP. They
That's how
give you 80%
the water bill over my street. The one, there was water dripping from something. And I called my brother, he goes,
I mean, you
put a bucket caught
out of it.
Right.
Most of the time,
That's dripping. He goes, it's like 30 gallons a day I'm paying for. You gotta fix that. Yeah. The water bill came for the month, right? It was $40 cheaper than it was the month before.
Yeah, the only reason
And
I
I
even
still had
went
to-
up there in the first place is because my friend was his house out there. So it was a friendship type deal. Otherwise, I've probably never gone there, but I will go anyway. I don't want to get out of control. Right now, I'm centralized here in Luzerne County, and that's where I do most of my business. But this company here, they pay you 80% commission till you get to earn it. And then when you, well, it's 6%, and then if another realtor sells your house, right, you have to split with that company, so that becomes 3%. And then you get 80% of that 3%.
Oh, or water's coming in. So water out of all the radios.
3 years. Oh, basically, if you have the buyer and the seller, you can do both. I've done a few sales like that. And then you get the whole 6%.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. So then you get the whole 6%.
That was Valley, it's Bob. I said, you looked at the land once already. She goes, oh, it's you. Oh, thank God.
Yeah,
Her husband had, the number she told me was 90 or 120 units.
So you have a list,
That's
right?
why
Somebody calls you directly
thing.
and call the
that.
realtor and end up buying the house. So you have both the buyer and
She wants to get the hell out of
so
Brooklyn. She wants
your company gets the whole commission.
and build a house on it.
And in this case, with the XP, you'd be 80% of that. They only take 20. And plus they have stock options.
If ever tiers cut in
Go
half,
into
the
their
first tier
stock.
gets 4%.
They're publicly traded
And
company.
in many tiers,
You can
everybody's getting paid
up to have them take another 5% out to put toward stocks of any commission. It's a really,
What's
it's a really good
Jeff
deal.
is moving people out of his into yours. It's advantageous. So, it's at some point. I make them more. Yeah.
We're also an international company. Yeah, we just set up in France not too long ago.
With the Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi actually was this summer.
That's my cell phone.
Well, that's what we're gonna do.
Okay. But text you me your information.
I can see that as really possible. It's reasonable to get 500 rental units and then just a little bit over time.
The Jewish community, they'll all stay together.
Right, right, oh, yeah.
That's how
Yeah.
I mean it.
If you decide to become an agent, never get that DXP.
So I was thinking about it because
Yeah.
there's a lot of people that
And
look
Nick.
I mean, it's just, give it, you know, for the sake of what? And $25 a month to try it for a year, so if it doesn't work.
Yeah.
I guess I'll take it offline.
Yeah, that's